Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with the Rohan unit overview. A lot of you have been looking forward to this, and I am happy that it is now here. And we are here looking at all of the units, the complete roster for Rohan. That is what we will be looking at today. So yeah, I guess we'll get on with it. If you enjoy this video and you want to see more unit overviews, I'll just say do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support. Let me know what is your favorite unit for Rohan. I would like to know like what you guys, if you guys have checked out the new Rise of Mordor update, to see what your favorite Rohan unit is. I'd be quite interested to see what you guys like thinking is your favorite unit at the moment. But anyway, we will get underway. We have the Sword Thanes here as the first unit, the only sword unit for Rohan, as you can see. We'll show the roster off at the end as well, so you can have a look at their roster if you are new to it. But as you can see here, the Sword Thanes, a medium melee infantry unit, and as you can see, it's trained. It's got a large like unit size, 170, which kind of surprised me. Most like good factions have much smaller unit sizes, but are much more like elite. But Rohan, obviously not used to having like really good infantry, or doesn't have really good infantry. Like the units are much more bigger because their quality is much lower. But it's got good melee defense, good average armor, and average missile block chance. So it's got some pretty good stats. I mean, with that big shield, I expect it to block a lot of stuff. Its average armor, I would certainly agree. And it's got some pretty decent melee defense. But yeah, so we'll quickly go over like some of the melee attacks here. You can see like the term. It's like got 29 melee attack, 36 melee damage. I mean, so we're looking at like some okay stats for like a medium melee infantry. I expect no like less. It's like fairly even to some like the lower tier Gondor sword sort of stuff. But yeah, it's nothing like to shout about too much. It's like melee defense is pretty decent at 38. Its armor at 65 is much lower than like anything that usually like that Gondor has, I believe. I think Gondor's most of its infantry's like armor is at like 90. Using like Gondor as a comparison, since they're like both the main factions of this region, I guess you could say. And then we've got health at 80. Morale at 45, which actually is not a 45 because it's just general being nearby. Its base is 34, there you go. And its speed is at 34, so it moves fairly quickly. I think it's moving a little bit slower than like Isengard's. Most of Isengard's units, I think most of Isengard's move at like 38. And its missile block chances at 45. Using Isengard as well is also like a fairly good comparison, as that's like their mortal enemy. But yeah, I just actually remembered now, so I should probably like just say like the person that made the Rohan units is high on T. Did a really good job. We spent 2 years on making these units. They did a really good job, and hopefully I can have a look at a few of these details. I mean, I really love the officer for like Rohan. You can see here, like he looks awesome. He really does. I mean, I love like the helm going on, like the cape, like the straps on the cape. It looks awesome. We'll just get like a bit of a better view on him. Look at that. Look at the detail on that helm. Really does look awesome. Probably will be a little bit longer of a unit overview, as we will be going over some like I haven't really looked at Rohan. I've been away, like I've mentioned, so I actually haven't really had a real look at Rohan. But yeah, they kept like, since this Rohan's basically been done by since like January, or around what I've been told by the devs, and they just kept it a secret. I mean, they gave like little hints away that something was going to be happening soon. But no one really apparently caught on, and now it kind of came as a bit of a surprise when it came out a few days ago. But yeah, so that is the only sword unit that Rohan has. We'll now move on to the axes, because they're just behind. I just put them nice behind. We'll do the axes, and then I'll move on to the spears, and then from the spears the archers, and then from the archers onto the cavalry, and then from the cavalry onto the generals, because there's a few generals to go through. In this Rohan faction, there are quite a few. But yeah, as you can see with the mustard axes, a pretty low tier unit. It's a lever unit. It's got average missile block chance again. It's still at 45, like the Sword Thanes. And being a lever unit as well, has a much, well, not a much larger, but a slightly larger unit size as well at 190. It's got poor melee attack and poor armor, as we saw in the previous video. If you haven't checked that one out, I do recommend you go and do so. Yeah, they did not get many kills, these mustard axes. They do not do well. I mean, that was using an Isengard's like lower tier stuff as well. Its melee attack is at 22. Its melee defense damage is at 28. Its melee defense is at 27. So it's not looking so great. Its armor is at 50. It's yeah, it's not that great. Its health is at 80 as well, and its like morale, yeah, is 38. Well, it's actually not even 38. It's 27. Ooh, yeah, it's not gonna stand for very long then. And then its speed is 36, and its missile block chance is like, yeah, speed at 36, which is okay. Look, I think that's ever so slightly faster, a little bit faster than the Sword Thanes. Its missile block chance the same. But yeah, and then we are on to what we on to next. We're on to the Axe Thanes. The Axe Thanes. These guys look awesome. A slightly more well armored unit. I feel like this guy here kind of reminds me of like I think actually one of the actors in Middle Earth. I may be wrong. I don't know if he actually is, but he looks awesome. They really, really do. Actually, probably one of my favorite looking units. Their officer again looks awesome. Like, just look at that unit. That is awesome. Like, just look at the helm. If we can get that right, there we go. Look at that. The horse on the helm looks awesome. Really, really does. We'll quickly go over their stats then. So the Axe Thanes. The Axe Thanes. Let's have a look at these boys there. A medium. Oi, let me actually select on these. Come on. Get there eventually. Yeah, come on there. There we go. Why are we still showing the mustard axes? I don't know. There we go. Axe Thanes. At 29 melee attack, they're ever so slightly, again, slightly better than the mustard axes. They're like nothing like great to shout about. I didn't expect much from Rohan's infantry though. I didn't expect it to be like world beating here. Like mustard axes are down at 29. It's a little bit better. At 22 is the mustard axes. Axe Thanes at 29, so it's a little bit better, but again, not much to shout about. Like melee damage at 28, which is the same as the mustard axes, I believe. I need to learn the stats a little bit quicker. Like I said, it's such a new faction. Melee defense at 32, armor at 65, and health at 80. So yeah, if you compare that to like mustard axes, you've got like, yeah, melee defense at 27, armor at 50. I'm kind of surprised they even had that such high armor. They just like looking at their armor. Yeah, and they only have 15 more, and they get chainmail. It's kind of insane. Morale is these guys have like a morale of 45, it says, but I don't think they do. What do they actually have? 34. Yeah, that's just because of the general being nearby and stuff. Speed at 34, which is down to armor, and again missile block chance. Again, they've got the same average armor, average missile block, and average melee defense, like Sword Thanes, but they're just with an axe. So I guess they have slightly different stats because of their weapon of choice. They look awesome. They really, really do. Looks beautiful, really does. But anyway, we will now move on to the spears. So we're here with the spears, again looking at the glorious officer unit. And yeah, we are looking at the mustard spears. So they have a few more spears than they do like axes and swords. They have, well, 3 spears. As you can see, we have the mustard spears, excellent melee defense, average missile block chance, and poor melee attack. I expected no less. I expected the melee defense to be pretty good because, well, like they're a spear unit. It's got 36, which is slightly better than the Axe Thanes, I guess, but you lose a lot of melee attack because you've got a spear. You got down at 18. Its melee damage is at 27. Its armor staying at 50, which seems like it's going to be just a basic like stat for the like the levy units of Rohan. And their health is at 80, which is just the basic health stat, it seems, for Rohan as well. Morale at 38, which I'm going to presume with that being a buff, that, yep, 27, which is, again, seem like the levy morale. Speed at 36, so a little bit faster. And, yeah, that morale, missile block chance, still at 45. So, yeah, mustard spears, probably a decent unit to bring. Like, Rohan's infantry's just got to hold the line, really. That's kind of like how it's just got to go. It's just got to hold the line. And then also just wait for the cavalry to come and save it, quite literally. We then have Erling Men-at-Arms here, which is the next unit. And this is probably one of my favorite looking units, actually, for the infantry for sure. I just quickly have a look at the shields. They look awesome. They really, really do. Like, look at like the shield boss, like the detail put into it is amazing. The armor for the officer as well, like his shoulder pads, like, oh, they really do look awesome. I just can't get over how good they are. But yeah, a really, really good unit. Kind of reminds me a bit of like the shape of their shields as well, right? Reminds me of like a Roman auxiliary a little bit. And it's certainly in like vanilla, like Attila, they are really, really strong in the auxiliaries. But the men-at-arms anyway are 31 melee attacks. They're already going to this heavy spear infantry trained, you're getting so much more melee attack, and it is probably a lot, very much worth it. And then your melee damage is obviously staying at 27 because it's just a spear. You all have the same spear. Melee defense are 51. This unit is going to hold for a long time. Put in a choke point, this boy's not moving anywhere. Armor at 85, good to see. Nice strong armor here. And then we've also got health at 80. So really, really good like stats there that you want to have for like holding a choke point, those last three. Then we've got morale, which is I'm sure going to be like 38. So yeah, again, pretty solid. It's going to hold for a long, long time. Its missile block chance is actually up at 50. So it's got a little bit more missile block chance. Again, very useful when you're holding a choke point. So this unit I could see, if you're doing like a Helm's Deep scenario, this is the unit you want to hold a choke point with. Certainly very, very useful. Until the Uruk-hai pikes come along. And then you got this unit, the Guard of the Golden Hall. Very heavy infantry. Probably, I mean, I say this unit's beautiful. I mean, this unit just takes the mickey. It is a glorious looking unit. Really, really is. Look at these boys. I really wish there was a melee variant of these guys, but like they look, I mean, that may be just me being a bit too greedy. But this unit really, truly is awesome. Like, look at the officer as well in this one. Looks awesome. Really, really is nice. The armor, the shields, I mean everything about this unit. It's just amazing, amazing, amazing. He's done a really, really good job. Has high on T here, really has. Down at 120 though, this man unit. Actually, yeah, how big was that unit? Was that 120 as well? I didn't actually pay attention. 140. So yeah, they're getting slightly smaller because they're getting slightly better. The spears are actually pretty good units. 120. Very heavy spear infantry, excellent melee defense, excellent armor, average missile block chance. This unit is what you have as the Hornburg's starting to fall. If it's looking like it's gonna fall, you send this unit in. You send these boys in. Melee attack at 36, so we're slightly like improving again on the men at arms. Melee damage still at 27. Melee defense at 59. This unit is not going anywhere anytime soon. Armor 85. Health at 90. So we've got a little bit of an increase in health. It's a very common theme when it comes to elite units. Usually you see a little bit of increase in health. Morale at 51, which I'm presuming, yeah, 45. So again, this unit is not breaking anytime soon. This unit is going to hold probably to the last few men. I'm thinking probably to like 20, 30s if it's not being surrounded. Speed at 30. So it's a really slow unit, which is expected because this is very heavy infantry. And its missile block chance at 50. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about it because I haven't really played. I'm literally not even played Rohan yet at this point. But yeah, this is the unit you want to be sitting in last. Rohan, I've already like kind of come to my decision that is much more of a, I don't know. It's if you're gonna play pitch battle with it, you want to bring like cheaper infantry and really good cav. And if you're gonna play siege, you need to bring pretty good spears and pretty decent archers. And then just probably some cav as well to like, inflict a lot of damage to like get rid of key units before they get like the attacker gets inside the city. It looks a really, really nice unit. Does this unit? I can't wait to see it in action. But yeah, and then we will move on to the archers. They are next on my list. So we are here with the archers now. The archers, and there is a few archers to go through. There's about another 3. Again, mainly. Rohan is a cav faction. Archers are an infantry unit technically, so they don't have a vast variety of these guys as well. I mean, to be fair, 3 is still a fair amount. It's a decent amount. It's probably the average amount that most factions have. So again, we'll start from lowest and work our way up. And again, as usual, the lowest is the mustard unit, the mustard archers. Not something you put your ketchup though. This sort of mustard. But yeah, it's a light bow infantry. It's a very poor missile block chance, very poor armor and poor melee defense. This unit is the lowest of the low, 190 men in a unit. I've seen it get decent kills in the like the first battle I watched with Rohan in. Got some pretty decent kills. I mean, going up against other light like infantry, firing at other light infantry, you probably would do okay actually. But yeah, it's not gonna do like the greatest in the world, to be honest. If it's going up against like heavy infantry, you don't really want this to use it up against heavy infantry. You want other stuff. You want better stuff, like we're gonna see in a moment. But yeah, we'll use these like stats here as a ground start, like as a start. So you got like 15 melee attack. I mean, melee attack's not really going to matter until you get to the next couple of units, really. But yeah, 15's okay. Melee damage 25, melee defense 70. I mean, these aren't the stats you worry about with archers. Armor 25. That's a little bit concerning since the other mustard units are like much higher in armor. Health at 80, missile block chance at 10. Morale, I mean, that's not looking great. It's going to be 20. Eesh, yeah. So this unit, you do not want it to get in combat. It's breaking pretty quickly. That's not almost down at like orc rabble level, like sort of like morale. Then its ammo is at 24. Its range is 150, which is much lower than like most like archer ranges. Most is like 200, but that's usually the case for the levy ones. They usually can't fire as fast, like as fast or as far or as accurately. And its accuracy is at 14, talking about that. So yeah, this is like the unit that you like. Maybe if you got like an extra little bit of cash left at the end, you think, I want another archer. We need another archer for the siege. Let's bring this guy. I mean, on a wall, like if you were defending like Helm's Deep, you put them on a wall somewhere and you got some flanking shots. I'm sure you could rack up kills. But it's not really the unit you're going to rely on in a battle in the key points of sieges. But we will now move on to the next unit, which is these guys. These guys look awesome. Look at that man. He looks so scared of himself. Let's find one that looks less scared. Or maybe they're all looking scared today. Yes, they're all looking pretty damn scared. This guy is looking pretty scared of the enemy that he's facing today. And we've got the Yeoman of the Mark, which we've seen in the previous video. A really, really cool unit as well. I mean, again, still a pretty poor archer unit, actually. And as you can see, there's a trained now, though. We're now at trained. Got poor accuracy, poor missile block chance, and poor melee defense. So it's still not a great unit. But, I mean, these guys seem to do a lot better than the mustard bows did when I watched the video, like when I've watched replays. They've done a lot better, generally. But yeah, again, it's not like the greatest archers in the world. Rohan's not known for its archers, it's known for its cavalry. And yeah, that's what you're all here to see, and we'll be moving on to soon. You can see its melee attack's slightly up at 20. Its melee damage is still at 25 like everyone else. 21 for defense, sorry. Its armor at 50, which is much improved. Actually, no, that's not at all. I don't think that's really improved. I don't know what that is, actually. That's very much improved. That's like double what the mustard bows had. For some reason I was thinking that they have the same armor as like most like mustard units have, like the mustard spears, for instance, which is kind of concerning for the mustard spears. A missile block chance is doubled at 20 from the 10 of the mustard bows. Morale is at 25, so it's a little bit better, but you still don't want to send this unit really into combat. Its ammo is at 22, but I'm presuming that's supposed to be at 24, but it's just lost some. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe it's not. And its range is at 200. And its accuracy is 22. So it's much better in accuracy. It's not quite doubled, but it's getting towards doubled. And it's got like 50 extra range. So it's very, very useful. You want that unit, certainly. I think this is like the main unit. If you're going to bring this unit, this is the main unit most people will be bringing for archers, and they're fairly well priced. The next unit, though, is pretty damn expensive for archers, and you can bring it as a general unit if you fancied. And that unit is these boys. Okay, it's these boys. The Garrison of the Hornburg. Oh boy, do I love this unit. This is actually probably one of my favorite goddamn units, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of people's favorite units for Rohan. It's just a really, really cool unit, and it's the first of its kind as well. It's it's like a hybrid unit. It's probably one of the first hybrid units in the game. It's a heavy bow infantry. Its melee attack is at 32. Its melee defense is at 43. Its melee damage is at 28. Massive, massive improvements from past bow units. It's got good armor, good melee defense, average accuracy. Still got 140 guys in a unit it's not actually an elite unit. It's not actually down as an elite unit. So that's kind of surprising. It's trained, but it certainly feels like it's more like an elite unit. Look at like the armor on it. It's so well like armored up. Looks awesome. It's got 65 armor. Its health is at 85, so it's got a slight increase on the health, which is always a sign that it's pretty damn elite. Its missile block chance is at 45. It's pretty damn good in like missile block chance, because I guess when it like turns away, it's got the shield on its back. It's like got pretty good armor. It's got a pretty good chance. I really, really like it. Morale is at 38. You could send this unit into combat quite happily. I don't know if it's limited. I think it might be because it's a general unit. I think you might only be able to bring one. I may have to double check on that. Its ammo's at 21, but I think that's just because people have been firing ammo, so I'm not entirely sure. I think it must have probably about 24. I think most archers do. Its range is at 200, its accuracy at 31, so again, much more like improvement on the past archer units, apart from the range. Range is the same. But this is a really, really good unit, and I think it's a hybrid unit. It's basically Rise of Mordor's first sort of hybrid unit. I mean, you could obviously say like the Men of the Thilian are, like they're really good in, like the Thilian archers are really, really good in melee as well. But I feel like they're just not well armored enough. These guys are really well armored, and they can hold their own basically. So like they can hold their own in both like melee and also getting shot at the same time is what I'm saying. Like they could do both quite well. So I'm really excited to see them in combat. Again, the officer. Look at this officer. He's looking pumped, ready to go. Looks awesome. He's got his sword through his shield somehow. But there you go. That is all of the archers. If you enjoyed looking at the archers, you're going to enjoy looking at what is next. Because next, it's the cavalry. Well, here we are at the point everyone wanted to be at. We're here at the cavalry. The cavalry, which is obviously the famed Riders of Rohan. This is what everyone's here to see. This is where Rohan excels really, really well. Like everything we've seen before, they are merely holding on long enough for Rohan's cavalry to basically come and save the day and do a lot of damage to probably already tired and weakened enemies. So basically that's all like your infantry's got to do is just hold on long enough for these guys to arrive. And I mean, Rohan's cavalry seems like it could be pretty good. It seems like it could definitely do a lot of damage. I mean, I don't know if it's the best. There are certainly some cavalry units I think that it's going to still struggle against, but I think they've got a really good wide range of cavalry that allows them to to basically outmaneuver any sort of like opponent on the field. They have so much cavalry options. It is really, really good. We have got 2 units of melee cavalry to go through. We've got about 5 units of spear and shot cavalry. Put them together, and then we've got some bow cavalry as well as to look at as well. And then we still got generals to look at. Still got those generals to go through. The first unit here, and it's the cheapest unit, is the Esquires of Rohan. These are the first melee cavalry unit. So medium melee cav, trained. It's got very poor armor, good melee defense, poor missile block chance. It looks pretty decent. Like it's just your boys haven't become a knight yet. It's just all it is. And these guys look pretty damn awesome. I mean, I can't lie. Like the armor on these guys is pretty basic. It kind of reminds me of like the mustard spears or swords. But again, it's still like looked really detailed, like you can see on here, like all the horses and stuff on like the chests. And it does look good. The officer's still looking mighty fine as always. But yeah, this unit is pretty damn nice still. It's a melee attack at 29, got melee damage of 36, charge bonus of 50, which is now obviously a key fact we need to know. Melee defense at 42, armor at 35, health at 170, which is obviously very key. Like health is so much higher. Morale at what is it? It's at 31. Speed at 85, so it's pretty quick cav. I expect the Rohan's cav to be pretty quick, to be fair. And its missile block chance at 25. But yeah, no, I mean this unit is it's like it's okay. I've seen it like do okay in combat, but it's probably like if you got like a little bit of money left, you're like, oh, I could get another cavalry unit. What do I get? Oh, I could get these Esquires of Rohan. But the next unit's also pretty damn awesome, and this is the Arid of the Westfold. I've been told that the Arid's like how, basically like a region of land also almost. And it's like where you like gather. It's like a county, like where you gather like troops from. It's like a unit basically. It's a group of men come together. So it's like from the Westfold. This is a medium melee cav unit as well. It's got good melee defense, poor missile block chance, poor armor. Kind of surprised it's got poor armor since it's got chainmail on it. But yeah, it looks really cool. I like that it's in red, changing up a little bit. Clearly in the Westfold, they're all about the red. Shame we didn't get to see that happen because obviously the Westfold got burnt to the ground. But yeah, no, I mean they've got we've got ever so slightly better stats. Arid of the Westfold, I believe. Well, actually, no, they may have. Yeah, ever so slightly better stats at 31. Ever so slightly better there. Melee damage at 32. His charge bonus still at 50, which, I mean, melee cav, you don't really want to charge them in anyway. You wanted them to go maybe after archers, or like support, or like go in, like after your shot cav's been in, you want to then send these guys in to like a cavalry combat. Melee defense at 39, armor at 55, health at 170, and then it's morale at 31. Speed still at 85, and its missile block still at 25. So like they're okay, a little bit better than the Esquires, but like not too much better, I would say. In quite a few aspects, they're fairly similar. Like the melee cav's okay, but it's nothing like too much to shout about. It's more what the spear cav is. That I think is what most people will be bringing. And the first spear cav is obviously the lowest tier spear cav, which is the Arid of the Westfold, which is a pretty nice unit, to be fair. Again, has a sort of like mustard sort of look to it, as you can see here. I really like I don't know, the leather armor looks really nice. I also like the little red stripes down there. Maybe want to dull them down a little bit. They might be a little bit too bright, but I don't know. It looks fine, actually. Actually, no, maybe when you zoom in. Again, with like looking on like the chest, you can see like the horse like markings. So that looks awesome. Really does. On the side, you got like the white horse of Rohan. Looks really nice. But yes. Anyway, the stats. Good melee defense. We've got poor missile block chance, which is not surprising for like a spear or like a... Oh no, that's Arid of Westfold. Why is that still saying Scouts of Rohan? Sorry, I do apologize. I was like, that's not right. They're all too close together. That's why I do apologize. So yeah, the cheapest unit of spears. Sorry, Scouts of Rohan. Like we cut that almost. But yeah, light shot cav, which is no surprising. So yeah, even worse everything. Very poor missile block chance. Very poor melee defense. Very poor armor. Yeah, melee attack at 24. Melee damage at 30. Charge bonus at 100 though, so I mean these boys can do a decent amount of charge. They can do double what the Arid of the Westfold can, and the Esquires of Rohan. These guys are going to do a lot of damage. I expect great charge from you, even if you got to die, son. Even if you have to die, you will do it. Melee defense at 9. Yeah, these guys are not going to defend themselves. I mean, shot cav doesn't anyway. But I mean, very light shot cav. Yeah, you got no chance. It reminds me kind of like the Haradrim like lancers that I don't know if they still have them. Don't know if they're now just with they're not with Mordor anymore. They might just be with Harad. But yeah, those guys just got vaporized by archers. These guys are gonna be the same. Their armor down at 25, health 170 though. Still, it seems like it's just a standard thing for cavalry at the moment. Speed at 95 though. These guys can move, and I mean move. These guys are probably really good again for going after sort of like. Maybe going for general if it's like a light general, a vulnerable general, like a shock infantry maybe, or going after archers or catapults or stuff like that. That's what I'd send these guys after, because and certainly like in a sneaky way. You don't send them like just straight through the middle where everyone can see them, because that's where they'll get shot. But if you can sneak them around and like they can just fly in and out, they could maybe get away with killing stuff without the enemies knowing, really. Missile block chance at 10. Yeah, they're not stopping anything. These guys are going to get screwed by archers. The next unit, though, is these guys. This is the Arid of the Eastfold. So we now move from Westfold to Eastfold to a different Arid. These guys look a bit more heavily armored than those scouts, and that's good to see, because Rohan's going to need some heavily armored boys for the wars to come. This is medium shot cavalry. Some very poor melee defense, good charge bonus, poor missile block chance. Still not great on the old block chance. I'm kind of surprised that like some of these stats I feel like are still not hitting. Like Rohan's supposed to have good cav, but yes, it's melee attack at 31, it's melee damage at 32, it's charge bonus at 100, melee defense at 11. Still not great. Shot cav won't have great melee defense. Armor at 40, so we're a little bit improving now on the scouts. Health at 170. Morale is at 28, so it's not bad, it's not great. Speed at 75, so we have come down drastically from that scout. As soon as you put that medium armor on, you're losing about 20 speed apparently. And then, but we're up on missile block chance of by 15, so it's not a bad unit. I can see this being one of the mostly commonly used units for Rohan, because it's just quite cheap. Oh, it's not. It's relatively well priced, and it's relatively decent as well, is what I mean. But then we move on to the next unit, which is the Rise of Rohan. And this is not shot cav, this is spear cav. So it's slightly different. And I could see this unit as well also being used a considerable amount. So, I mean, we'll just have a quick look at these boys. They all got a slightly shorter spear. It's not like a lance like these guys here. As you can see, it's actually like something that you can use quite capably in combat. But yeah, these guys are pretty damn nice as well. The officer looking just mighty fine as always. Look at this boy. Doesn't mess around, does he? But yes, excellent melee defense, good charge bonus, poor missile block chance. So yeah, I mean this is really good stuff for melee. Obviously, as it says there, it's good charge. It's still got a good charge bonus. It's actually better than the melee cav. It's got 60 charge bonus. Its melee attack's 26, melee damage 27, melee defense 45, which is just like much better than anything that the shock's got. Might be slightly poorer though than I think that's slightly poorer than melee cav, which at 50. Armor at 50. Its health is 170. So it's got better armor than like some of the shock cav, and some of the melee cav. And its morale is at it's at 31, so it's not too bad. Its speed at 85, so it's still really quick. And its missile block chance is at 20, so it's still very vulnerable to archers. And obviously archers can fire really quickly now in Rise of Mordor, so you need to be careful. You need to protect your cav quite well. So I can see Riders of Rohan being used quite well and quite a lot. But obviously the cavalry's not like invincible, as you're seeing with these stats. They are still a very beatable faction in this mod, and that's what's gonna be the difficult bit. But now we're moving on to the really nasty stuff, and this is the Knights of the Mark. Knights of the Mark, I think, are one of the first really scary shock cav that you're gonna see in this rundown of all the units. Riders of the Mark, medium spear cavalry, excellent melee defense, good charge bonus, poor missile block chance. And yeah, this unit has got like, well, we'll just quickly look at these boys. Look at them. I mean, this guy's scared. Like, he's just got to run and charge at like thousands of orcs, but he's ready inside. He's ready. He's got 26 melee attack, 27 melee damage. Seems like most of the units seem to be having around like that sort of melee damage. I guess it's just their lance. Yeah, it's slightly lower on like melee attack than like some of the other like units we've seen before. As this shock again, it's melee defense, so it's at 45. This unit can actually kind of defend itself. It's compared to like the scouts and the Arid of Eastfold, which are like down at like a 9 and 11. This guy can defend himself. His charge bonus is at 60. Oh no, it's Riders of Rohan. Why is it still doing that? Why? I do apologize. Don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to just make sure I'm right in the middle. There you go. Knights of the Mark. I do apologize. I am having an absolute nightmare today. There you go. 40 melee attack. I do apologize. This is just the most chaotic one we've done yet, probably. Melee damage at 32. Charge bonus at 100. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. I saw it and thought that's not right. 60. Can't be right. But yeah, so yeah, already massively up on everything, like of the Rise of Rohan. 41, 32, 100, 21 on all you saw like melees and charge bonuses there. As you can see, armor at 85, 170 in health, morale at 43. It's still trained. This is still heavy. I was going to say this is heavy shock cav. I was thinking when I saw it, I was like, heavy medium spear cav? That's not right. Speed at 75, so it's pretty damn quick still for like heavy. And its missile block chances at 35, so it can sort of defend itself. I can see these guys being used quite a lot as well, but they are pretty damn expensive. We are starting to get the expensive side of the roster now. But yeah, these units are definitely looking awesome. Really love, like, the Rohan's armor is awesome. It's a really nice mix. But then the final shock cav unit we have here is these boys, and these boys are just very nice. And you can bring this unit as a general. This is an available general unit as well. And oh boy, does the Arid of the Gap look awesome. Actually, no, it's not the Arid of the Gap. Why do you keep doing that, Arid of the Gap? And also, I fall for it because I don't know all the names yet. Arid of the Gap's the next unit we can look at. Knights of the House of the Earl is this unit. I was going to say I knew that was wrong as soon as I said it, because these boys are awesome. This is elite shock cav. They've got very excellent armor, excellent melee attack, good charge bonus, 48 melee attack, down to 70 men in a unit now. We're like, I mean, some of the other units are that upper 80s. These guys are down to 70. You know, as soon as the units get smaller in Rise of Mordor, you know it's worth killing because it's an elite unit. Look at these guys as well. Everything from the shield to the armor to the saddle. I mean, it looks awesome. It really does. So much detail put in. Yeah, 48 melee attack, 32 melee damage. Charge bonus 100. It seems like it's a standard thing, to be honest, for most of the cav. And then we've got armor at 85, melee defense at 23. So I mean, it can defend itself fairly well. It's, I mean, it's double of what like the Eastfold can do, the area of the Eastfold can do, or the Westfold, either side. To be honest, both of them are pretty. Actually, no, they could. The Westfold confirms themselves quite well. The melee cav. But yeah, the armor at 85, health at 180, so it's slightly better, and its morale is gonna be at 38, so it's pretty damn nasty. Speed at 85, and its missile block chance at 35. So it's still really quick for very heavy shot cav as well, which is the thing I'm gauging from that. And finally we have the area of the gap. These guys, which are trying to claim that they were these shot cav, they are actually archer cav, which is still a really useful unit. Medium bow cav, poor accuracy though. So why are you on a horse? I mean, in fairness, you should be like have pretty low accuracy if you're on a horse, because you're like jumping around and stuff like that. We then have melee. Yeah, melee attack is really low as well. Poor armor, which is no surprise as well. They don't look the most armored in the world. Just got like really some just basic chainmail. But yeah, melee attack at 20. Melee damage at 25, melee defense at 24. Again, this is not really their stats. You could maybe send them against archers, but you don't really want to send these guys in a charge. Armor at 55, health 170, so we're back to that basic 170. And then we've got like morale at 23, and then we've got speed at 95. So this unit again really quick, which is what horse cav relies on to be really quick. Ammunition at 24, range at 150. And then its accuracy is 19. So there you go. And now we're going to look at one of the first generals, because I have him here ready. And the first general we are going to look at is, in fact, Eomer, who is the Knight of the Mark. Or he's with the Knights of the Mark. So obviously, we've seen the Knights of the Mark before, but Eomer's like, I believe I don't think he's really got any new stats, from what I can see. But yeah, we'll just have a quick look at like his unit. And there you go. That's his model. Looks a little bit constipated, I'm not gonna lie, but he does look awesome, to be fair. Again, because he's like got his kind of a shame he doesn't like have his iconic spear that he keeps throwing around and killing stuff with. But he's got a nice big sword instead. Looks awesome. But yeah, he's with like Knights of the Mark as his bodyguard. And now I'll show you the other two really quickly as well. So here we are. Here is the second general that we are going to look at today. It's probably the most famous out of the three, and that is obviously King Theoden here, with his glorious looking armor. Look at this guy here. It really does look awesome. Yeah. I mean, look, let's just quickly like go over his helm. I mean, we're just going to like analyze it in a little bit. But yeah, like his helm, like you can see like the gems in it. Looks really cool. I mean, just so much detail has gone into it. Really does look awesome. Like the shoulder blades, or the shoulder like guard. Sorry, at the back of him. Like, oh. Looks awesome. Really does. Yeah, he's got his bodyguard. He's with the Knights of the House of the Earl. So I mean, he's got a really good bodyguard. We've seen the stats already. I think the only thing that like the generals offer really is obviously, apart from just immersion, it's just some abilities. So that's another thing. And now I'll show you the final general, which is the Theoden's son, Prince Theodred. And here we are. Here is the final general that we have got to look at, and this is Prince Theodred. I'm pretty sure we showed him off in the last battle that we did, was on the Fords of Isen. And yeah, he is the son of Prince Theoden, who dies in the Two Towers. He like dies in a little ambush that takes place. And again, he is guarded by the Knights of the Earl, and he's got some pretty like awesome looking armor. I don't know how to really describe it. It's kind of like almost like lizard green almost. It's kind of like what the color I go for. It looks really nice. I do like it. It's like a shoulder. Let's have a just quick look at his like shoulder guards again, looking really nice. Very similar to like Theoden's. Like everything looks awesome, like all the way down. He's like so well armored. Again, a massive big sword, like his father in Eomer. But yeah, he does look really nice. And again, I think he just offers us really abilities. He doesn't really change anything in stats. And he probably like gives off maybe better morale. I don't know. But yeah, like he probably gives like morale boosts in some certain ways. Yeah, he's a really cool unit. I also just mentioned that like while I've been doing this, we have been like doing this on the new map Dunharrow, which is really cool, like little land battle one. There you go. You can have a quick look. But yeah, that is all of the units for Rohan. I'll now quickly go over their roster and what I would probably recommend to bring. So I'll see you guys in a moment. So here we are now on the unit roster, and as you can see, I've been through every single unit, but I like obviously the catapult, which everyone can basically bring. Nothing new about that. We've been through every single unit here, so as you can see, it is a little thin in the way of infantry. There is not much infantry, but down here in cavalry, there's a lot more than most other factions have, obviously, and a lot of generals as well available to you. But yeah, so I'm just going to quickly go over what I would probably bring. We usually do maybe 20,000 on most sieges I run, and what I would probably bring. So if I was attacking as Rohan, which I think would be pretty suicidal, you probably want to bring a fair amount of sword thanes because, well, melee infantry is pretty good. As a general, I don't think it really matters, but I'd say maybe bring I'll bring a Knight to the Mark, I think, for now. I may bring a unique general, I don't know. Obviously, Garrison the Hornburg, you can bring a couple, so I probably would bring as many of these guys as possible, because I think they're going to be very useful. These Erling Men-at-Arms could be pretty handy. I'd certainly want to bring a couple of them. I'd also probably bring more Knights to the Mark. I think these guys are going to be really, really handy. I would probably bring a catapult, because I think catapult's always handy to bring. I'd probably bring maybe some axe thanes as well, maybe just to try and see whether I can break through with them, but I'm not really expecting much in the way of miracles with them. I'd probably also massively upgrade their armies, their stats. I'd also probably bring some guards to Golden Hall because they're really, really good. And I actually probably kind of brings me a little bit short on cash, so I probably would maybe bring them down a little bit, and I'd maybe bring a third. And that may be something that I would potentially put together if I was attacking. If I was defending, I would certainly probably be bringing a lot more spears. So let's say again, I'd probably just bring I'd probably actually bring maybe a general as a guard to the Golden Hall, and then bring probably the other two. Obviously, you're not going to have as much money. You probably have you get around about 15,000 actually. So let's do that. Let's say that actually was doing that. So I should probably change up what I'd probably bring. So I'd probably bring a lot more of these Erling Men-at-Arms. I'd probably bring a lot of these guys. I probably would bring a couple of Sword Thanes, maybe 3. I'd probably bring the Garrison, the Hornburg again. Get rid of one of those swords. Maybe I'll bring 2 of those this time. Bring some more Yeomen at the Mark. I think they're probably going to be more handy, and you get a lot more of them. Probably would bring maybe some Riders of Rohan instead if I was to sally out. And what else? We've got 2,900 left. I'd possibly bring maybe I would bring a third Sword Thane, and we've got a fair bit left. Yeah, go on then. I'll spend my a bit on some guards at the Golden Hall, and then 1,000 left. 1,200. We could actually bring an Arid of the Westfold, but I don't know. It's really hard. It's really tough to say. Mustard Spears actually could be pretty handy. These guys, I might bring 2 of these guys just for numbers. 190, but they also have 50 armor. They can do some decent damage by the looks of it. I mean, that's actually not that great. I don't know what I'm on about. Missile block chance is okay. So I mean, they might be okay. I probably excellent melee defense, average missile block chance. They're pretty handy to probably bring in a tough spot. But yeah, that's probably what I bring on the defense. I don't know. Obviously, you can let me know if you bring anything different, or what you think your favorite unit is. But I hope this has been sort of useful. I'm obviously not experienced Rohan a lot. I've not really played a lot of battles with them, or at all. So yeah, I don't really know what my go-to Rohan army would be. But there you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do remember leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support. And until next time, Legionnaires, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.